In today's video, I'm going to be addressing porn in a way that I want to bring light to all of the men that struggle within this area, that feel like they can't have a voice in it, or they feel like they're trapped within the confines of what porn offers them, which can feel good for short moments, but can leave them in a deep, deep pit of their own despair or just depletion in life. Now, porn is something that's everywhere. It can be through soft porn. Even honestly, you guys open your phone, go on Instagram, look up Instagram models. They show you everything that you'd want to see. That leads you down a very lustful thought pattern that even gets you onto porn to start with. Now, this is something you can overcome. I want to be very clear. We can overcome anything in our lives for our willingness to show up for the very thing that has taken control over us. And I know this is easier said than done. Now, have I ever struggled with this addiction? No. Do I talk about it a lot? Yes. Have I learned a lot based upon my own over-sexualization that I did in the past? I've learned a lot from it. And in today's video, I really want to bring light, not only on this topic, not only to the men who struggle with it, but also how we can overcome this. Now, first things first, when you say out loud that you have a porn addiction, you are taking the first step. Because a lot of people unconsciously have this pattern in their lives, but they are not willing to own up to the very fact that what they are doing is a pattern that is creating a lot of disturbances mentally, physically, or even in your relationships. It has an impact. When we go on sites in order to fulfill something that these sites provide for a short instance, we are left with a deeper pit of what brought us there in the first place. Now, what do I mean? People watch porn for a variety of different reasons. Whether it be you're lonely, whether it be it's exciting for a part of your brain, whether it be you just have no control over your life or any sexual urge, that it just makes sense that when you feel horny, you go on porn, you deal with that, and then you kind of just lay back and rest in whatever just happened. Now, the first step in overcoming this is realizing that it is not an addiction when you bring your awareness onto this pattern. You're probably like, what? Explain, Maya, what do you mean it's not an addiction? Because right now it seems like it is, because I'm doing it every day, or it has a tight grip on me. One thing about addiction, if we give it our awareness and we say it out loud, we are allowing us to gain power back, for us to be able to see where we are not showing up in alignment, whether it be to who we want to be or to our future. And a way that we can take our power back is by realizing an addiction is a choice. Because when we say out loud we have an addiction, that means we are choosing that addiction to occur. The people who are participating in unhealthy habits that have no idea they're doing it, that's an addiction because it's going unconscious. So whatever goes unconscious, it can be labeled almost as an addiction, if this makes sense. But if you actually have the wherewithal to decide for yourself that it is you choosing the addiction, it allows you to gain back power and also to provide you with a greater perspective of what's happening here. An outside source does not have power over you unless you give it your power. So if you're giving porn your power every day, every week, every time you feel an emotion that you want to numb and you go run to porn, guess what? You are choosing that. That is your form of self-soothing. Now, everyone self-soothes in different ways. Through sex, through porn, through alcohol, through drugs, through running, through working out. Everyone experiences running from an emotion and dealing with it in different ways, okay? In different ways. This human experience is tough, but us not being able to actually own up to where we are participating and what we are doing to make our lives the way it is definitely the first step. The second step is reaching out for help. A lot of people deal with this and they just sulk in it, or they marinate in it, or they just don't tell anyone. And it's like this dirty little secret that holds so much shame and guilt. And it has implications on how they communicate with people, their relationships, their self-talk, because it's a monster that's taken over their self-identity, being identified to a porn addict. will always equate to a man not being in tune with his masculinity. Because a man constantly going on porn is not a man with complete structure in his life. There's an area that is going unnoticed, perhaps by the very comfortability that an orgasm provides you. And we can rewrite this narrative by having tools in our toolkit. There's a lot of ways, and I specifically talk about porn and I coach people who have porn addictions in order to overcome them with a sense of pride of what you're doing. You no longer have to hold shame if you're actually taking the action steps to help yourself. That is a prideful thing that you should be aware of, that takes courage, you reaching out for help. So just a side note, if anyone right now currently is dealing with porn addiction and needs some help, or maybe you just need to tell someone, I do offer specific coaching on overcoming porn addiction. My email is down below, and within these calls, I can further get to the root cause of what's going on and help you work through this hurdle in your life. So please don't hesitate to reach out. My email is down below. But getting back on track to my point, you being able to actually verbally express to other people what you're going through allows you to take back control of something that was hidden in the dark. You're giving it light. And when we give these things light, we allow them to be seen by us. Sometimes people walk around with porn addiction and they will never look themselves in the eyes, because they know every time they look themselves in the eyes, they see porn. They see the man on the couch, on the bed, pulling his meat when he has a purpose to tend to, when he has a family to provide for, when he has a wife at home next to him on the bed. Okay, you guys? We need to regain our strength by making this a mission towards your destiny, a destiny you're proud of living. This you can overcome. You can overcome this in a multitude of ways, but you need to be committed to yourself. You need to have dedication to this, because we can say all we want that we have an addiction and become victimized by it, but that will never get you success in the world. And this is on your path for self-mastery. So the thoughts that arise that test you, use that as the opponents that push you towards your mastery. The thoughts are opponents, not there to discourage you on your path, but to test you and to allow you to see you have the power within all along to choose a different thought, to chase a future that you're worthy of living, but you have to believe in that future. So if that makes you uncomfortable to believe in you getting out of this porn addiction, that's where you must start and question the reasons of why. Why has this become a perpetual pattern for you to fall back into to make you feel comfortable? There's a deep level of discomfort in your being. And you reaching out to porn makes sense because you're fulfilling some sort of dopamine, but you're also getting some physical intimacy through a screen. Is this normal? Of course it's not normal. Porn is not normal, you guys, okay? But that's not to say that it doesn't have a place in your life right now. Because reality check, if this is something you're struggling with, it has a place in your life. But for what good reason is it there? We can make this serve you, to show you the level of dedication you have for yourself. It's possible. Now, I want to go over some action steps men can take just before I end today's video that you can apply in overcoming this pattern. So, number one, carry around a wristband on your wrist. So when you get urges or you feel maybe some temptation come online, whether it be to go check Instagram models or OnlyFans or porn, you have to thought block by an action step. By slapping your wrist with a rubber band, you are redirecting your focus on your mission, on your goals, by allowing yourself space and not falling down the past patterns that have ended you up here watching this video, okay? That's one thing you can do. Number two is, this is harsh and this is kind of a weird thing I haven't heard a lot of people talk about, but it has worked with my clients. One thing you can do is actually make it a reality. Not saying this is going to happen, but to your mind, you can make it feel real. And it's this. It's gonna sound crazy. Obviously, I'm not saying this is real, just FYI, but you can imagine it, and you can become very inspired by this thought in a way that you have extreme purpose. So the thought is, if you watch porn again, the most dearest person to your heart dies. Now, if you actually knew that a life was on the line, I could almost guarantee you would never watch porn again. Why? Because that is very extreme. That's life and death. But here's the thing, that thought is reflecting to you your very own life and death. You going back on to a site is killing you. It's killing you spiritually, mentally. So maybe right now you don't have enough care for yourself to realize that. So put maybe your mom, your sister, your boyfriend, girlfriend, as if I go back onto porn, this person will die. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen, you guys, but sometimes we have to get extreme to overcome extreme grips that we've put onto our lives that have control over us. Because I swear to you, if you replay that situation occurring, it will motivate you to never go on these sites again. And you are also telling your body that these sites are bad. These sites are bad, you guys. They're not something that, obviously you're feeling shame and guilt for a reason. It's not like you're watching a, Tony Robbins podcast about how to better your life. You're doing the complete opposite. You're watching two people have sex, fake sex also, can I add, that's there to make men weak. Porn is there to make men weak, which is why a lot of men are weakened in today's society because of the over-sexualization. It's a part of the agenda, you guys, and that should give you purpose as well. You have purpose by overcoming this addiction. Extreme purpose that needs your attention. So give your attention towards the future of your success. Wake up excited to overcome yourself and to show yourself that you have complete control of your thoughts. So that's one extreme thing you can do, but it does work. Another thing, you need to allow yourself positive reinforcement for what you've achieved. You going on this path is a huge accomplishment that a lot of men would not be able to own up to or even do the work towards. So my last piece of advice is carry a calendar and write down the days that you don't watch porn. And I know you're like, Maya, I can consciously be aware of that. No, it's really important to write it down and to check that box, because you are giving yourself positive reinforcement for you showing up for yourself. And you're also keeping track. And you guys, transmute the sexual energy. Go work out. Go in a cold tub, cold shower. Listen to things that actually nourish your mind and not your short-term gains that you get out of porn. Invest in your future. Invest in your future. Because porn can come in between a lot of things. Not only human connection, but the connection to yourself and your spirit. This matters, and it's up to you to make the change. But you do not have to do it alone. Like I said, I do offer one-on-one coaching in this topic specifically. So please do not hesitate to reach out and to gain and to get it off your chest and to make the first step in the right direction. So my email down below. I hope you guys liked today's video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.